Hello, my name is Craig Buffington. I'm one of the trainers for Wildco PES. Today we're going to talk about the Veeder Root TLS 350 and sensor alarms and how to clear them. When you arrive on site, the first thing you want to do is verify the alarm. See if the alarm's still in the Veeder Root. If you push the alarm test button and the alarm clears, your job's not done yet. You got to make sure there was nothing else causing the alarm, find out if it's going to come back, talk to the site owner, find out what happened when the alarm came in. Was there a rainstorm, electrical interference, anything like that? Find out what you can. Look at the history of the Veeder Root. See how many times the alarm occurred. If it keeps coming back, if it comes and goes. So confirm the alarm's still current. Find out what's going on. Now, one thing to keep in mind, is this a new or an existing site? Because if this is a new site, there's a whole bunch of other things you got to look into. The type of wire that was used. Go into programming. Find out if this wire is too long. Is it wired backwards? All kinds of things you got to consider. But today we're going to talk about an existing site. Let's first start by keeping it simple and verify that the programming is correct. There's always a possibility that someone else has gone into the Veeder Root and changed something. This may even have occurred remotely. Press mode until you see system setup. And that's the setup mode. Press function to continue until you see liquid sensor setup. Press step to continue. Press step one more time. And then use your tank sensor button and scroll to the sensor that has the issue. Press your step button to scroll through the programming and change as needed. If the problem still exists, the next thing to test is the sensor. Using your electrical meter, set the ohms, check the continuity of the sensor. Refer to the liquid diagnostics chart and match the alarm condition to the sensor reading. Also check the reading of the sensor in the Veeder Root under the diagnostics menu. Press mode until you see diagnostic mode. Press function until liquid diagnostics appear. Press step to continue. Press your tank sensor button until the sensor of the issue appears. The value displayed should closely match the readings on your tester. If not, there may be a wiring issue between the console and the sensor. If the sensor readings match what the Veeder Root has displayed and there is still an alarm condition present, replace the sensor and recheck. If the readings do not match, it is time to check the field wiring. You want to check your field wiring. First thing you do is open your junction box, pull your seal pack off, cut it out, and resplice your wirings. Don't put a new seal pack on until your troubleshooting is completed. If that doesn't solve the problem, now you have to test your wires. What you want to do is disconnect to both sides. You want to ohm it out. Use your multimeter or your electrical tester, set it to ohms, and test your wires. Disconnect it on one side, and you want to use your probes on the other side. You should be reading infinite. There should be no reading at all. Then you want to take each lead and do it to your conduit. Same thing. You want to be infinite. You don't want any kind of readings on it. And you want to tie one end together and then check your wiring. At this point, you should be zero or as close to zero as possible. Anything other than that, bad field wiring should be suspected. Now keep in mind that if this is an existing site, you may have multiple splices in other sumps. It could be a trough behind the building. There might be another splice. You have to go in there and find it, and you're going to have to check that splice out the same way. Another thing you can do to check your sensor is you can wire it directly to the console and see if it works, see if it's good or bad. Also, it could be a module issue. Do you have multiple sensors in alarm? Is there more than one sensor with alarm condition? Is it kind of screwy? You could have a bad module. You can move the sensor wiring to another place in the module, swap the module, and see what happens. Hopefully that takes care of your issue. Another option you can do is cold start. Cold start may clear the issues that's going on. However, cold start is your last resort. Because when you cold start a console, you're bringing it back to like day one. All environmental testing, compliance data, at this point is gone. It's lost forever. So only do that for last resort. Remember, the TLS 450, there is no cold start options. Another thing to keep in mind is outside influence. There could be some kind of electrical issue going on at the site. Could be a bad electrical transformer. It's causing interference. So keep that in mind too. It could be magnets. I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities that could be going on there. Well, and to keep in mind that I gave a whole bunch of ideas to check it. Depending on what you see when you get on site, you may not be checking, in this order that I gave you. So you may start with the module. You may want to start with the wiring. So it depends on what you find. Be a detective. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helps. Thank you.